I think my best memory was getting to actually have like shows with other students and actually having, water wars with Nick Atkinson.
Debating about water, that was definitely a great moment. Just drink when you're thirsty, don't overthink about water, don't obsess over it.
I think Colton and I were on the air together and we had to cut to commercial because the both of us couldn't stop laughing. Don't know what it was, don't know how the conversation came up or even what the conversation was, but I just remember we couldn't stop laughing and we just had to cut to commercial.
Probably something with snipers and sluggers. It's always fun watching Colton try to put together thoughts on sports. It's fun to see the gears turning, and then especially when we play our game 3-2-1 and I just dummy him every time.
Kind of just having the freedom to live and learn as you kind of worked along with learning and developing your voice or a personality trait or finding out what you liked and what you needed to kind of improve upon.
Any chance to get a crack a mic and speak to people out there, whether it be with a co-host or the people out on roving remote.
Right, it's just, there was a moment where I was just like, I am running a radio station right now, and it was just a very fulfilling moment for me. It was really cool.
Probably just doing, like, getting to do just shenanigans around, like, videos and being on air and just the randomness of the topics.
The Thursday shows, surprisingly, with Tam or Veld on NR92. The weird thing was, it felt like when we didn't prepare, we did better. Our shows were funnier and flowed more easily, and the music was, it was just always a good time.
All the different kind of creative shows that we worked on, anything from Rock Talk to the old and new show with Duncan.
Probably all the times I got to screw with Brandon. That's one of my favorite activities. He's very fun to play with and kind of push in different directions. He takes it. He's a great bottom. No, cut that out, I'm sorry.
That's all staying in.
Okay, great.
There's been a few of them.
Anytime I mispronounce a word and nobody corrects me, because it's probably one of like the easiest words to say. Like I can't say specific.
There was a day I was on air with Brandon, and he had been doing great breaks all morning. And I went, oh, you know what? I can do the same thing. I'm gonna do a really good break here. And I just butchered an intro for a Shakira song. I think I was like, coming up next is a song about something I like to do with footballs. This is Kick. And it was just like, oh, it's the worst intro I've ever done. And Brandon keeps bringing it up.
Oh, God, every day. I wake up, I'm embarrassed. I get in the shower, I'm embarrassed. I take the bus, I'm embarrassed. I speak into the air, not really knowing what I'm going to say, and all I do is embarrass myself. I guess all the technical difficulties would be more embarrassing.
I would always try to fade down and be fancy and then turn on off the wide orbit track and then turn it back on and it would be off, and then the music and then, hotkeys all playing, and none of it works. So those are always, nobody's listening, but you only care, so it's embarrassing.
I wasn't even operating, actually. I was the co-host of a show, but we had some buttons mixed up, and then there was an intro to remote playing at the same time somebody was doing the roving remote, and it was just all a jumble, and then all of a sudden you got to get back on and talk for the next break. It's kind of like, whoops, sorry about that. I think that would probably take the cake.
I think there was a few times where like Nick saw me not press my mic on and I did a whole entire break without turning my mic on.
I came here with a bit of an ego thinking I'm like an equipment expert. Then my mic will just be off sometimes.
Probably the various times that I did not turn on somebody's mic, whether that's my own mic, whether that's a co-host's mic. Yeah, mics are hard.
When I swore on Adrian's show, it was the music exchange. I had changed up, I shared some rock music, and I, without even thinking, I called it. He was like, this is the just right into the mic. I was like, oh man.
Probably my accidental F-bomb. And I didn't realize that I had the hotkeys turned down. So then I left the mics on just so we could play the hotkey, and I just didn't have the slider up, and I'm like, well, bleep. And then, oops.
The song that got stuck in my head the most was Sunroof. I think A-OK sings it. I also love that song, so it's easy.
From the Other Side by Fall Out Boy, or From the Other Side of the Apocalypse, or whatever it's called, by Fall Out Boy. That song has been living rent-free in my head for 3 or 4 weeks now.
Little Black Box, that's a good one.
Unholy. When we first started playing that, it was just constantly running through my head. And now it's If You're Going Down, I'm Going Down to Kelsey Ballerini.
What was that one called?
Judy. That, just not even the whole song, just the Judy.
Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember the artist?
No.
For the definitely first semester was the Maneskin one, and then now is Business Time. I don't know. I forgot about that song, and then NR92 brought it back. So
It's called like Enemy or something. Imagine Dragons. Yeah, Enemy by Imagine Dragons. This song, honestly, it's still playing in my mind all day, every day, 24/7.
I think the artist is Talk?
That Boy's a Liar Part 2 by Pink Panthers featuring Ice Spice is always in my head. And we play it here, and any chance I get to play it, I play it.
We started playing a tune called Runaway to Mars. I really picked up on that song. Like, this is actually just a very well-written song. It's catchy, it's kind of more chilled, which is not a lot of what I listen to.
It was that like Runaway to Mars song.
Oh, Runaway to Mars, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
My advice for future NR92 hosts is to not get caught up too much in all the schoolwork and the deadlines, and really try to take your time with the program and have fun with it and enjoy the opportunity.
work hard, but don't take it too seriously, because we're in a creative field. So if you take it a little bit too seriously, you can kind of lose that creative edge.
Just make the most of it and say yes to opportunities.
Enjoy the moment as much as you can and really just soak in all of the knowledge.
Do your homework early because it likes to build up.
Prepare. Don't think that you can do it. Like, not that you can't do it. I just mean, like, don't be like, oh, I'll be fine. Write something down.
Definitely plan your show, have a way to exit out, have ways to transition your topics.
Well, for one, make sure that your mics are on, or actually, be cognizant of when your mics are on.
Just do it. If you are scared to talk about something on the air and don't know how people are going to react, or if it's kind of embarrassing for yourself, just do it.
Come up with something original. Be unique. Be yourself, unless you're a terrible person.
Be yourself. As cliche as that sounds, being yourself and true to yourself gets you noticed way more than just being the cookie cutter radio host.
To the listeners, keep on listening. We don't know why you're doing it. We don't know what we're doing right. And thank you for listening.
Thanks for putting up with me and Matt's nonsense on Snipers and Sluggers.
To all 6 listeners of NR92 on any given day, I'll say thanks. Thanks for putting up with us. We're all here to learn, and so we really appreciate the people listening, kind of putting up with it and still coming back the next day for some more.
Keep listening.
Thank you for listening and putting up with all of our nonsense.
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for listening. And those of you that have interacted with the Facebook page, the Twitter page, the Instagram pages, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it.
Honestly, just thank you. Like, these last 2 years, it doesn't even feel like 2 years, but they've gone by so fast. It's just felt very, like, welcoming. It just, honestly, thank you.
Adios.
I'm out of here.